Well, after a 2-hour rain delay and the track looking super fast at Port Royal on Saturday night, the skies opened up right before the first feature, and they had to cancel the rest of the evening's events.
Fortunately, a couple of tracks were running on Sunday, including Susquehanna Speedway Park, which was hosting their second 410 Sprint Car show of the season. The front row for the 25-lap feature consisted of Blaine Heimbach in the black and orange number 12 and Brandon Raymer in the white 88. Lance DeWeese in the 14 would follow the leaders through the first turns. Raymer would work the lower groove to take the point position. DeWeese gets a great run through 3 and 4 to close on Heimbach. Exiting 4, DeWeese turns it a little left to set up for the next turn. Heimbach can't make the cushion work for him as DeWeese powers by to take over second. A caution came out after only 4 laps were completed as Aaron Ott, who had won one of the 3 heat races, caught the backstretch wall and flipped. He was okay. We would only get 1 more lap in the books before the yellow flew again for debris on the track. The top 5 did not change during that lap, so with now 5 down, we have Danny Dietrich muscling his way under Heimbach to take over third. Early in the race, the battle for 5th was between the 27 of Greg Hodnett and Donnie Kreitz Jr. in the blue 69K. Kreitz won the first 410 race at Susky 3 weeks ago. At the head of the field, DeWeese kept Raymer within striking distance for a few laps. Going into turn 1, DeWeese makes it stick and rockets off of turn 2 and into the lead. With 10 laps down, we have another caution, and there were a few more to follow. DeWeese pulls away from Raymer, who has to contend with Dietrich, while Hodnett runs just behind them in 4th. A couple of laps later, Dietrich passes Raymer to move up to second place. Another caution on lap 10 again stacks the field, yet DeWeese is able to keep some distance between himself and Dietrich on the restart. Raymer eventually lost third to Hodnett, and it wasn't long before Kreitz took the 4th spot away from him. The field was slowed by a caution on lap 19 as Raymer hit one of the cones that lined the turns. That's an end-of-the-line penalty, but Raymer chose to park his ride for the evening. We would have cautions on laps 20 and 21. Each time, Dietrich stayed tight to DeWeese on the restarts. As we get back up to speed, Dietrich tries the outside of DeWeese, but to no avail. Kreitz would take the 3rd spot away from Hodnett with 3 laps to go. Kreitz ran out of laps to track down Dietrich, and Lance DeWeese held on to take the checkers. Lance, congratulations on the win. You were hanging there with Brandon. All of a sudden, did you find something that enabled you to get around him?
Well, we changed our line in 1 and 2, went down to the bottom where he was running and moved a little lower than where he was at and really found a lot of moisture and started getting good drives. And I could run out in 3 and 4 and he wasn't running out. So we knew sooner or later I probably would get a run at him. I was just kind of shocked how easy I went by him in 1 and 2. But, you know, he's done a great job. Both of them boys have so far. So I kind of was biding my time with him. I knew probably sooner or later I would get a shot. And we just keep improving our race car.
Now, Danny was behind you on quite a few restarts and hanging really tight, but you pulled away from him.
Well, I knew he would just be hauling it in there on the outside, you know, trying to get a big run around me, and I knew as long as I could beat him off 2, we'd be all right. And, you know, the one time he was really close to me, and then the one time I didn't hear him. So, you know, that's how it goes. When you have that many restarts, you're going to have good ones and bad ones, and we were fortunate enough not to make a mistake and, you know, give him a shot at us and, you know, hang on for the win.
First win for this team. Let's talk about how this came together and how things have been gelling. Obviously, well tonight.
It came together. We were working on a couple of different deals, talking to a couple of different people over the winter, and as soon as Scott heard I was available, he called me right away and said, you know, you want to sit down and talk, and we did, and I felt real comfortable with them. We kind of know what we can race budget-wise and how many races we can, and then my old owner, Donnie Owens, came aboard and so we could run some Friday night shows and some bigger shows, and we're just going little by little here and building a thing. It just don't happen overnight, and we're progressing every race, every weekend, so I'm very happy with how we're going.
Now, you're not a stranger to victory lane, but these guys seem really ecstatic.
Well, I think it means a lot to them. Yeah, I'm expecting myself to get to victory lane eventually, but I think to them it kind of takes a little load off them you know, so people didn't think I made a wrong decision, which I know I didn't make a wrong decision. They're very great people, very good family, and I'm very happy to be here. And it reminds me of a deal I was in for 7.5 years when I first kind of started with the Dyers. So we're here, I'm committed to be here, and we're going to try to build this into a very, very outstanding team.
So your top 5 in the 410 sprints is DeWeese, followed by Dietrich, Kreitz, Hodnett, and Heimbach. Number 71, J.R. Rodriguez would pace the field for the 25-lap late model event. Yet at the drop of the green, Ben Whitaker in the 13X would shoot to the point position. The black and orange number 1 of Gene Knob would close on Rodriguez as they head down the back chute. Knob starts to pull alongside Rodriguez as they enter turn 3. Rodriguez leaves the door open on the outside, which allows Knob enough room to challenge for the second spot. As they exit turn 2, Knob is able to squeeze by the 71 for the position. Eventually, Knob ran down Whitaker. They swapped the lead at different points on the track over the next few laps before Knob was able to secure the spot. Although a couple of cautions gave Whitaker and others another shot at Knob, the Superior Homes-sponsored machine and driver were too strong on this evening. Trying to join in the chase were the 22 of Chase Billett and Randy Christine Jr. in the 74 ride. During a caution with 18 laps down, Whitaker limps around with a flat right rear tire, but does not go pit side. On the restart, the obvious occurs. Whitaker cannot get up to speed. He slows and runs high against the wall. While Knob ran away from the rest of the pack, Billett and Rodriguez went at it for second on the last lap, with Billett finally taking the spot. And Gene Knob picked up his second win in as many starts this season at Susky. Randy Christine Jr. held on to the 4th spot, and Kyle Martin finished 5th.
Well, I have to say those Sunday night sprint car races certainly do pack in the people.
That they do.
Now in 2 weeks, they'll be having their 60th anniversary celebration night. Todd and Rhonda Fisher have been operating Susquehanna Speedway Park for over 10 years.
Now, coming up next, in the land of modifieds, one track is mixing it up with their support divisions. More on that when Pit Pass returns.
Ace Hardware State College in the Hills Plaza South is fully stocked for your spring and summer needs. From grass seed to grills and everything in between, we have the products and services you need at the prices you might not expect. Whether it's lawn and garden tools and supplies, quality Benjamin Moore line of paints, and any variety of housewares from the latest energy-efficient light bulbs to keys made while you wait, our friendly, knowledgeable staff is here to help you decide.
Thanks, sir.
Ace Hardware State College is the locally owned, locally focused, helpful hardware place.